What's up, YouTube? So today's topic, I'm going to talk about what makes going through a spiritual awakening and what makes going through an ego death, and I'm going through a twin flame or soulmate situation, or any type of like life altering situation when it comes to like spirituality, is very like lonely and isolating. Now, unfortunately, we have a lot of information about people talking about different types of spiritual awakenings and ego deaths and dark night of the soul and twin flame connections. But I think what people, or at least the viewers, subscribers, what they get mixed up is that, like, because when people talk about having a spiritual awakening, people think that it has to be a certain way, or like people, you have to think at a certain depth, because most people are like predictable. At least when they make their videos, like they always talk about the same shit, like, oh, we live in a fucking matrix, or like, oh, no one thinks like me, or like, or it's they all talk about the same shit when it comes to spiritual awakening. So I'm not talking about those types of shit where like, or like, oh, we're being controlled, everything is corrupted. People talk about, or people, you know what I'm saying? Like, when people type up spiritual awakening, ego death, dark night of the soul, they all talk about the same shit. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about where like you're going through, where like you're in a certain situation in life where like you generally can't feel like you can't relate to anyone, or like no one really understands you, or like even if you're around people, it's just like you don't, you just feel off place. You just feel like you're not in tune with your body, or like it's hard to explain. You just feel outcasted, or like you just feel like a lot of people are just dumb around you, or like a lot of people aren't at your level in some way. It's not necessarily being cocky. It's just like you feel like out of place in this fucking realm, pretty much, where you can't relate to no one, family, friends, etc. Or like, if you try to talk to people, it's like you get drained, or like you just want to get the fuck up out of here because they bore you to death. It's just shit like that, or like how you just feel off place, where you feel like you're not supposed to be here. Now, how to cope through that is, first off, to know that you're not alone, because there are people. And when I say you're not alone, I'm not saying like, oh, like what you're going through is not hard, or like what you're going through is it's easy to go through. No, this shit's hard as fuck. It's painful. I'm saying you're not alone, because trust me, there are people like me and other people who go through, like, we experience similar shit, probably different situations, but we experience the same energy. We're like, we just feel out of place, and we just want to get the fuck up out of here. You know, it's not a suicide or anything like that. It's more so like, but if you are suicidal watching this, then this video can apply to you too. But like, it's more so like we understand what the fuck you're going through. Now, a lot of people say there's different avenues, like therapy, talk therapy, mental health therapy, and stuff like that. My best advice is that, obviously, know that you're not alone, but try to put yourself out there. Like, try to get off your comfort zone. No, I'm not saying that's going to do the trick. That's not going to work. But if you're willing to do things that's out of your comfort zone, then at least you can look back and say, hey, I did this and did that before I had my spiritual awakening, or before I had this life-changing event. I probably would have never done that. So put yourself out there, get off your comfort zone. The things that scare you the most, is do it. You know, it'd be like partying, going to clubs, dancing in the middle of the dancing and shit like that, or like just public speaking, or like trying things that you're very scared of, but you're doing it anyways. Especially if you're like a shy person, have better hygiene, take better care of your health, become the better version of yourself. Now, obviously, easier said than done, because a lot of people go through spiritual awakenings, or like ego deaths, or they feel like the outcast, they feel like different, like they have a life changing, some type of traumatic event. Is like, it's hard for you to get off bed. Like, you just want to sleep all day. You just don't have that energy to live life, because everything seems like it's falling apart. I know that feeling. My best advice, obviously, I want to say you have to seek like help when it comes to like, and I'm not a health professional expert, but just do the best you can. You know, try everything, and try purging out, and try have some spiritual guidance. If you got to go to like a therapy session, or if you guys see a psychologist, do what you got to do so you can heal. You know, just even though these things might not work, because unfortunately, part of the human experience, especially if you're very spiritual, or like you're very like advanced spiritually, then you're gonna go through more bullshit alone. Because I genuinely feel like people who go through a lot of shit alone, where people don't genuinely understand what the fuck they're talking about, or what they're going through, I feel like the same people who are going through a lot of horrible shit, they tend to like lead the collective in a way where like they're meant to help guide the collective. That's why they go through a lot of shit first, and then once they overcome it, then they teach a lot of people, and then that's how they become well known or successful. All these cycles play out. I know how this human experience is. So this is how it is pretty much. It's bullshit. They see, like, even like, it can be anything, but even with fucking twin flames, you see a lot of people go through twin flame connections, and not 10 people have the answers or don't have the solutions on what the fuck is going on, but they're going through all this trauma, physical pain, mental pain. They've been going through this shit for years. It's been grueling, even decades. Like, they don't know what the fuck is going on. They can't get this person off their mind. They're feeling all these energies within their chakra systems, and like they're having like telepathy and like all these synchronicities, and they feel like it's out of their control, and their life's falling apart, and there's not much information. Yeah, maybe these people, like me and these other people, like, they're meant to go through all this bullshit, and once they overcome it and get out of that situation dictated by a higher power, then they could teach a lot of people what the fuck is going on, and they can help guide a lot of people, because then as they go through it, more and more people are going through it. There's like more people are talking about twin flames and soulmate connections, and it's becoming more like mainstream or normal pretty much. So yeah, so some people are just saying this shit because they think they have a twin flame or soulmate, because they want to follow the crowd, because naturally people like to follow the crowd in mainstream shit, but usually they're not going through. But I'm talking about people who are actually going through this shit. It's how life is pretty much. That's how this retarded ass realm is, where like you go through a lot of bullshit first, then once you overcome it, and you're doing this shit all by yourself. You have some guidance, but you're doing this shit all by yourself. Then once you have all the knowledge and information, then you teach a lot of people in the collective. This is how it is, unfortunately. It's stupid, but hopefully you can make money off of it. Shit, you know what I'm saying? We go through all this bullshit, we might as well get paid in this evil ass society that's corrupted, ruled by fucking paper. You know what I'm saying? Orchestrated by the universe. But just know that you're not alone. You're not going through this alone. Just try. Basically, my best advice, and I know I'm talking about my advice, but I'm still struggling with this. I haven't overcome anything yet, but I'm still going through it. But what works for me, it's easier said than done, and no, it's not a guarantee you're gonna get results to overcome it. But my best advice, what works for me, is to try everything. Try everything. Get off your comfort zone. Try things that you always wanted to do and just do it. Try things you're fearful of doing, but do it. Because if you hit rock bottom, that's out of your control. What you can do is might as well do things that you're always scared of or always afraid of. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just the fact that you're doing things you're always scared of and you're afraid of. If you do those things and you still have that fear and anxiety, then that means life is worth living. That means life is worth taking action and to look forward to. You get what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense. So now you have something to look forward to, and you're less worried about how you're feeling. You're still gonna feel it, but the fact that you're at that stage of hitting rock bottom, out of your control, orchestrated by higher power, unfortunately. If you're doing things that still scare you, like let's say for example, like talking to women or like fucking dancing and partying, right? You're scared to do those things. Just the fact that you still have that fear, then focus on that. Focus on overcoming that fear. You know what I'm saying? And then once you keep on doing that, you're still going to feel the heaviness of these energies, but you're going to not pay as much attention to it because you're focused on overcoming your fears and anxiety. And then once you overcome that, and then you find new things, and then you can teach other people. You can make your own channel. You can try to make money off of it. You know what I'm saying? It's just stuff like that. So that works best for me. So that's my advice if you're going through like a spiritual awakening, or like you just feel different, or like you feel like your life just feels different after a certain event or multiple events, or like as you get older, your perspective changes. That's how you gotta look at it, man. And don't get discouraged. No, you're not alone. You're never alone. And there's different outlets you could go. You can make videos. You could express yourself. Always express yourself. Just don't hold shit in. If you have close friends, or like you just do what you gotta do. Don't hold that shit in, because you don't want it implode at the last minute and explode. And you know what I'm saying? So don't do that and have that breakdown. So find an outlet to express yourself, whether it be writing, journaling, making videos, talking to people, public speaking. Just do what you gotta do. There's different platforms. There's TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, and just SoundCloud. There's a lot of stuff like that where you could do those things, you know. So, and you never know, you may become famous and successful by doing those things. You know what I'm saying? So never limit yourself. Don't hold yourself back. I know it is tempting because this world naturally limits you due to programming, due to like societal issues and shit like that. But don't. The sky's the limit. So do what you got to do. Become the best version of yourself. Don't let life discourage you and shit like that. Be the change you want to see in this world. And that's all I gotta say. But this shit does get annoying though, because when you're going through like spiritual awakening, or if you're going through like a twin flame journey, or like if you're having an ego death, or it could be any some type of traumatic event, it's hard because you try to type up the spiritual information on the YouTube, but all these people, they just talk about the same shit, or like they just talk about some bullshit, or like you can tell they're just talking about their own life experiences, which is more likely shallow, or like you already know what the fuck they're going through. So it's like it's hard to find information out there. This shit gets annoying. Like you're just trying to find that guidance, you're trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. You know what I'm saying? So unfortunately, you can't really rely on most spiritualists or YouTubers because they're all stuck on the same bullshit. But because the thing is, if you're going through unique shit, then that means more likely you're probably meant to be that leader to help guide these other motherfuckers in the future. This is how it is, unfortunately, you know. So you can really bypass your spiritual teachers or like the people you look up to the most, that you learn a lot from. As you get older, as life goes by, the more unique experiences you experience, you can actually bypass the fuck out of them and you're way above them. Not in the egotism, not where you're better, but like you just know more than them. So you can't really rely on them because they're still stuck on the same mundane, shallow ass bullshit. So it's like, you know, so that one makes this shit hard. So I've experienced that shit a lot. So get used to growing, and that's things people don't talk about, especially on YouTube. Like it is lonely at the top. It is lonely. This writer is saying it is lonely at the top. Like, because most people, like, if you look at YouTube, they all talk about the same shit. They're all programmed. I understand I'm programmed to a certain extent. I understand I'm mundane and shallow to a certain extent, but at least I talk about different unique shit. You know what I'm saying? So use that as inspiration to where you can make your own channel and you can talk about your own unique differences if you feel like you're going through this alone. I'm trying to help motivate, inspire people at the same time, you know. Even though my channel, I'm not trying to teach people. I'm not trying to like learn. If I do have information, yeah, I'll teach you. I'll try to make you guys learn things, but don't look at my channel as like, yeah, I'm telling you to do this and that. No, my channel is pretty much my own rant. It's pretty much my own venting. I'm just projecting all the bullshit that I'm sick of in this fucking life, and I'm making these videos to express that shit. I'm not trying to teach people anything, nothing. I'm releasing my anger and my frustrations, and I'm passionate about that. So I make videos about that. That's all it is. So, but I'm also using this platform to inspire people to voice their opinions, to express themselves, to not hold shit in, because you never know how many lives you can impact or inspire, or how creative and unique and great you are until you put yourself out there when it comes to making videos. You know what I'm saying? So this is what you got to do. But the thing is, like, when you're going through a lot of like crazy ass unique shit that's very traumatic and painful, it gets tricky, because especially if you can't relate to people, it's like this shit's scary, because like who can you go to, who can you look to? Because human beings, I think we all need mentors to look up to. My best thing you can do is to book personal tarot readings. Find a tarot reader that you resonate the most, that you feel connected to, that you think is accurate. Then book personal tarot readings so that tarot reader could give you the type of guidance that you need. Me personally, I prefer New Mind Frame. She does personal tarot readings and she does tarot, so I recommend her. But for you, it may be different. So what may work for me may not work for you. So they can help give you that proper guidance and stuff like that. No, these tarot readers, they don't predict your life, but they give you guidance on the things you should do, pretty much. But because there are times where I'm going through random, because unfortunately God and the universe, they're not going to give me answers. They're not going to tell me what the fuck is going on, because they're fucking stupid. So this is why I trust tarot readers more than I trust the universe and God. I do. Intuitively, I use God and the universe to give me comfort. But when it comes to like guidance and information, fuck that. They don't tell me shit, because they're the ones that orchestrated all this bullshit in the first place. So if God and the universe, if they're going to orchestrate you to go through a lot of trauma and pain, do you think they're going to give you the proper answers and guidance to overcome it? No, because they want you to be stuck in that fucking cycle so you can be engaged in this human experience. So you can like figure out on your own and overcome it, and it takes all this fucking time. Even though God and the universe, they have the power to release you from certain blockages and certain traumatic shit correlated to your nervous system that's keeping you stuck and tied to whether it be people, a life situation, or a traumatic event. This is why people have a lot of mental health issues, have a lot of anxiety and depression, because spirit is controlling that shit. You know what I'm saying? So what makes you think they're gonna give you the proper answers? Yes, you go to them for intuition and on what steps to take, but they're not gonna help you out. They're not gonna they can, but they're not gonna help you release certain shit. So me personally, this is why I book personal tarot readings and shit like that. So, yeah, just this shit gets annoying though, because like you feel like you can't relate to no one. Life feels different, or like you just feel, especially like if you live in life and you feel blocked. Because I feel like when I'm living life, I feel blocked. I feel like it's hard for me to, when it comes to romance, when it comes to dating, no matter how many times I put myself out there, no matter how many times I try to educate myself about dating, pickup, romance, and stuff like that, I feel like I have lots to offer too. I feel like I have so much information. Like, I take care of myself, I look good, but I can't find a fucking partner. I can't find a fucking mate. And it's just like, but people who don't have work as I do, they're able to attract partners. But usually these partners, I want to date these people pretty much. I want to date them, you know? Like, I try to date, like, I mean, to them, they may think they're attractive, but these people I see in relationships, I don't find them attractive, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know, it's just, but what I'm saying is that, like, because I feel like the higher your vibration, the more you do the healing work, it's gonna be a lot harder for you to attract a partner, because this reality is naturally fucking shallow, is naturally fucking mundane and low vibrational and fucking stupid. So it's gonna be hard to find a like-minded person, especially if you've done a lot of healing work, if you've done a lot of spiritual work and stuff like that. It's gonna be hard for you to find that like-minded person, especially as a guy, because most females, they're on some bullshit pretty much. So, and they don't really, I'm not getting into it, but so it's gonna be hard for you to do that. So don't get discouraged, because I blame this around, but I just feel there's a lot of blockages too. I genuinely, because, and this is why people say life is not fair, because you see people, because look at this reality. You see certain people, they're naturally low, like financially free. They win a fucking lottery. Other people, they're born in poverty and stuff like that. That's out of their control. This shit just happens. This shit just happen. Same thing applies for romance. You see certain people who find the love of their life. They find their life partner. And these people, they don't have to do as much work. They don't have to like heal themselves or learn about romance, psychology, like the opposite sex, like psychology and shit like that. They don't teach, like they don't put them work with themselves, but it naturally happens to them because it's part of their life path. They're meant to fucking experience, you know what I'm saying? So don't take this shit personal. But this shit gets annoying where like, and all this shit correlates to you like having to experience certain types of like pain, because the universe is orchestrating that shit. This is why you go through so many blockages, and that's what I'm trying to talk about in most of my videos. Like, everything seems like it's pre-planned, or like everything is orchestrated by a higher power. When it comes, especially if you're meant to break generational curses, yeah, God is gonna purposely push you through abusive family members, and it's just a vicious, it's a fucked up cycle. Like, not too many people really talked about, and this shit pissed me off, because like no one talks about how like everything is happening at a divine order. Like, no one talks about this shit. Me, at least, I'm talking about it, and I'm trying to figure out ways on how to get over and how to get through it. You know what I'm saying? By being self-aware and then taking the steps, because you can't take certain steps unless you're aware of it. You know what I'm saying? Some people, they can't take steps and they don't know what the fuck is going on because they're stupid, and that works for them. But because in this reality, just like what Chauncey said, you have to play like the certain rules, you have to take certain steps and certain discipline, and then you get through it, because you're basically playing a fucking life script. That's all life is. You're playing a life script. This is why you go through a lot of bullshit. A lot of people go through karmic cycles and certain events out of their control. Everyone goes through that. So I would go more into detail, but I got stuff to do. It's getting dark, and I hope this makes sense. And just don't take life personally. Take life seriously to become the best version of yourself, but don't take life personally, because all this is bullshit, pretty much. If you're always single, if you're always experiencing a lot of abandonment, a lot of rejection, if you experience a lot of trauma, if your nervous system's all fucked up, if it's overstimulated, if you're even missing an arm or a leg, just know that all this shit was more likely, and that it's a fact that it's orchestrated by a higher power, just so your spirit can fucking experience that shit, because this is how stupid this realm is. This shit don't play fair. Life will do you dirty. So, but the best way you could counteract that is trying to find solutions, ways to overcome it, by being aware of it. And then you'll take it less personally, and you'll know what to do, so you can dive head on and become great, pretty much. So that's all I gotta say. Have a good one. Peace.